right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to another Monday. Welcome to the live chat. Here, another episode of All Elite with Keeks. Giving y'all time to get in the chat. I hope everybody had a good weekend. It's been a very hot weekend if you are in the city of Dallas, especially Texas, state of Texas. Excuse the background noise. It's okay. It's cooking going on in the back, so excuse the back. Uh, Getting chicken ready, so you know. But yeah, so it's been a good weekend. It was a good game. WNBA Sky versus Fever Part 3. It was a good game between the two. Um, a lot of great things happened this weekend. All of us House of Dragon fans, we watched yesterday's episode. We've been talking about it on the timeline. And again, if you know, I do Twitch as well on Tuesdays with my best friend Morgan. We do talk about The Boys season 4. So make sure you tune in tomorrow for the Twitch. We do discuss The Boys. Yeah, it's been an interesting week. Interesting conversations going on in the timeline. I accidentally went viral for something that I just literally repeated. All I said was I didn't know it was a lot of white males that were on the creative team for Sexy Red, and it turned to, a whole bunch of chatter. I got called anti-black, and then it was some that was saying, dude, we tried to tell everybody that she is an affiliate and things like that. I just literally repeated something I didn't mean for it to go viral. So got that going on. Yeah, just a lot of different things. But today we are going to speak on specifically the Owen Hart tournament. I feel like that needs to be on the forefront. The ratings came out for AEW. The Juneteenth performance smoked that out of the water. I didn't watch. I had to watch Dynamite the next day because I was looking at the concert. I was interested in the concert. Kendrick did his thing. The whole West Coast did their thing on Wednesday. And I guess people really don't. Well, I don't want to say people, but I guess the East Coast really, really, really still hold a grudge against the West Coast because it was so many biased takes from people in the radio industry and the music industry. They was just pushing a narrative still. And I'm just like, dang, they really don't like the West Coast for real. It was a good show. Saw a lot of local talent I had never heard of that did really good on stage. Some of them that I was familiar with. I heard their music before, especially in college. Great performances. So I enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it in the chat, I think one of my favorite moments that happened though, that Wednesday performance was seeing Absol on stage with Kendrick when Kendrick performed 616 in LA, and he has the minor. My producer said I'm an East Coast lover, and I loved it. Yeah, so but that was I love seeing Absol, seeing the reunion of the Black Hippie. Like that, I haven't seen them all together since college. So seeing all of them together, Absol, Kendrick, Schoolboy Q, all like it, just seeing them all together on the stage, it was just like, dang, we get but dang, that was a good time. So I did enjoy that. Shout out to the West Coast. And I heard that they are filming a video for the song too in Compton. So can't wait to see that video come out. What else happened before we get into the actual show? Pop culture. It was a lot of things that happened that I can't even get off the top of my head right now. But that man is still living in Houston for some reason. He needs to leave. It's time for him to go. Greg Abbott you got to do your duties. It's a Canadian in Texas, and he got to go. Just get him his pardon papers, okay? He's gotta go. Julio, yesterday he was murdered in Tampa on his birthday. Tragic, but it's one of those things where drill music is doing to the youth. I was talking about it with my mom not too long ago. I'm just like, you got these teenagers, they are literally unaliving each other just to put it on songs. Like, they don't have no motives. They not doing it for no money. They not doing none of that. A lot of them is trying to have a King Von reputation in their neighborhoods and in their areas and stuff like that. It's kind of getting out of hand, but you know, you get what you get, I guess. You had that happen yesterday. America, US of A, the Olympics is coming up, and shout out, this is the only time I'm a patriot. USA, Sha'Carri qualified to go to Paris. Swim team, I saw Australia was talking mess. They almost about to get Michael Phelps out of retirement. They talking mess about him. And then I had to Google. I'm like, bro, nobody is seeing us in the Olympics. Like, y'all got a lot of catching up to do. Y'all gotta, nobody is seeing us at all. Like, it's crazy. That's when it comes down to it. I'm just like, bro. I mean, I guess you could say Russia. I guess you could say China, but they still got some catching up to do. Like, nobody's really seeing us when it comes to the Olympics. It's crazy. It is crazy. Nobody's seeing us. US of A. USA. Lotto had the birthday bash. The female rappers is doing their thing. Nicki is still having a successful tour, a Pink Friday 2 tour. Megan Thee Stallion has a successful tour. She's doing her thing, getting her flowers and stuff like that. That's a good thing. Doja Cat is doing her thing as well. Headlining these festivals and stuff like that. Like, the female rappers is doing their big ones. I can give it to them. Like, I give it to them. They doing they 1-2. They doing a big 1-2. So shout out to female rap. So not too much. Oh yeah, I did want to talk before we get into it, but us Lakers gang, because I'm a LeBron James fan. Us Lakers gang, we got a new coach. JJ Redick is the new coach. And like I told Davis, I said it could either go one or two ways. He feel like it's going to go completely left. I'm like, it could either be really, really good or it will go really, really bad. It is nothing in between. It's nothing in between. So we'll see, Laker game. We'll see how this go when the season come up. We'll see how the dynamic is with LeBron and also JJ, because both of them both of them are egotistic. So we'll see how that go. I don't know. But yeah, so today we're gonna get into the show. We're gonna talk about Owen Hart tournament. We're gonna talk about the matches that has happened so far. We have both qualifier matches that had recently passed, which we will get into the participants, and y'all will guess who the wild card is. So let's get into the show.
Monday night, you know what that means. Yeah. You know what that means. Realest on the grab scene, queen of the enemies, all elite with Keeks. Straight out of Dallas with it, dynamite fuse, she lit it. Standing on women business, going all out. Let's get it, keep it respectful out. Don't want that brawl out, we just talking fallout, storylines and call outs. Say what's the word, Keeks? I know y'all heard Keeks on air with the facts, not the rumors from dirt sheets. If you's a real collider, then let's ride with her. A real live winner, we going live with her. Yeah. All elite with Keeks, yeah. All elite with Keeks. All elite with Keeks, yeah. All elite with Keeks.
All right, so let's get into it. So the Owen Hart tournament, as we know, it has started. We got our participants, we got the brackets, and the winner. Tournament final. I said that wrong, y'all. is July 10th. Will be on Dynamite in Canada, his hometown. Yeah, so we got that going on. The Owen Hart tournament is one of those things that again makes AEW stand out. They are really good at doing tournament type of matches. It's an easy thing to book, especially for a booker. And this is going towards the Owen Hart Foundation. Martha Hart has done a wonderful job. You know, she, as it was reported, you know, she has a hand in on the selections and things like that. So shout out to Tony Khan for, you know, in a way making sure that we keep Owen Hart's name alive. And because he was one of my favorite Harts, you know, during the Attitude Era. I've always favored Owen over Bret. I know people love Bret, but I was an Owen Hart person. I loved Owen Hart. Everything about him, tragic loss. I was a kid when that incident happened. I would never forget, you know, that incident happened because of JR's reaction and how he spoken. And I saw because I watched the pay-per-view. So again, you know, he was more than just that incident. And I love the way that in detail it's still memorable to who Owen Hart is as a wrestler and also as a person and also his characters in a way. So they've done a wonderful job sticking to you know, relevancy of Owen Hart, because Owen Hart does have a lot of current children in wrestling. And if you know, paid attention to him and was a fan of him, you can see that in some of these people that do qualify for the brackets. So I just wanted to say that before I got into the actual topic. So we're going to kick this thing off. Again, the winners of the Owen Hart tournament will face either Tony Storm or Swerve Strickland at All In. So July 10th is the finals of the Owen Hart tournament, and either four of those candidates will make it to All In. And will be very interesting to see who will face Tony Storm and who will face Swerve Strickland for the AEW championship. Okay, so we're going to get started first with the ladies, women business. The Owen Hart tournament, now the bracket is, of course, it was Willow Nightingale versus Serena Deeb, Nyla Rose, Chris Statlander, Deonna Purrazzo, Miss Sheeta, Mariah May, and Saraya. Now this bracket, it is not bad at all. It's actually a great bracket. It's probably one of my favorite women's bracket for the Owen Hart tournament thus far. Saraya, to her defense, because some people probably still feel a way about her, but her in-ring has gotten better. Her ability to ring, like the old Saraya, is starting to show up. She doesn't want to be lost in the shuffle. And she is a predominant name. She was one of the forefronts to help start the women's evolution when it comes to women's wrestling. And I feel like she wants y'all to remember that. And I know her, her antics on Twitter and things like that kind of cascade over what she stood for and what made people a fan of her. But she's trying to get that recognition back. And I could tell that she is by the way that she's wrestling. And she's taking it seriously. So it's a great way to put her in, to give her that rehabilitation, to give y'all just like a second chance at her. I think this is her way of just saying, I'm not just this insult on Twitter. This was me, and I want y'all to remember who I was, why y'all used to like me, why y'all popped for me when I did show up for AEW, because we did pop for her when she showed up in New York at AEW. So we got this. So far that has happened because we've already had some qualifying matches. It was Chris Statlander versus Nyla Rose, and that happened on Dynamite, during the Juneteenth again. And it was actually, I had rewatched this match, and Nyla Rose and Chris Statlander, they always have a great dynamic with each other. It's never dull. Nyla Rose was acknowledged by a great ovation. She deserved that. Again, she's a former champion. She's one of the day ones as well. And she deserves her respect. And I love that for her because, the different states that they go in, the cities, and I say it all the time, people be like, why we don't see Nyla Rose? They are against, transgenders to wrestle because, it's anti-LGBTQ states. So that's why she hasn't been on TV because of the whole issue. We saw what was going on between Oklahoma when somebody had rated out AEW for allowing her to be on an ROH taping. So you got that going on. But Chris Statlander advances and she moves on in the Owen Hart tournament, which what had happened also on Rampage, it was Willow Nightingale versus Serena Deeb. And Willow Nightingale also advances in the Owen Hart tournament. So now you have Chris Statlander versus Willow Nightingale at the Owen Hart tournament, and they already have a story. So it adds another layer to the story that they have with their rivalry, the non-title rivalry between Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale. So we have that. And then for Collision, it will be Deonna Purrazzo versus Shida. So we have that on Collision. I didn't get a chance to get a graphic for Mariah May and Saraya, but Deonna and Shida will be a great matchup as well. I'm interested to see who will advance on that end, and then also who will advance on Mariah May versus Saraya. A lot of people got Mariah as the favorite. Yeah, I have Mariah as the favorite also. We'll get into it a little bit later on when we get on further down the episode, but I definitely have Mariah May as the favorite to win. And again, the tournament finals for the women, it will be on July 10th on Dynamite. So the two finals, out of each bracket will face each other on Dynamite. And then whoever wins on Dynamite will go to All In for the AEW Women's Championship. So you have that. So again, these group of ladies that was picked for the Owen Hart tournament, it makes sense. They all, in some way, in some caliber, represents and also reflects Owen Hart as a wrestler, as a character, everything he stood for. They all, in a way, represents him. So it was a great selection, a great pick by Tony Khan. He did his big one with the women's side. So let's get on to the men's Owen Hart tournament. You have Claudio. You have Pac, you have Bryan Danielson, you have Shingo, New Japan, Ray Phoenix, Jay White, Jeff Jarrett, and a wild card. And we will get on the wild card a little bit later on. This, again, another great selection. I know people felt the way about Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett and Owen Hart had history. They were friends. That was his tag team partner. They had the tag team championship together in WWE. He cut a promo and it was showed on Dynamite. Jeff Jarrett was explaining his relationship with the Owen Hart. He is still friends with Owen Hart. He's still, the children is considered his god kids and stuff like that. Like it's legitimate. It's not one of those. He had tears in his eyes when he, talked about Owen Hart. He was one of those that was affected by his loss as well. So it means something to him. And that was a great addition to the tournament. Martha handpicked Jeff Jarrett to be in this tournament. It's very poetic. And it's just, I would love for him to win by this alone because it's a great story. And it was a lot. It was a lot, and it was real. It wasn't fake or nothing. This was real. This was Jeff Jarrett out of character. Like, this wasn't, kayfabe Jeff Jarrett. What you saw was actually him. This was him. This was, it was real. Someone who knew Owen personally has been in the tournament everywhere. So I was exactly everybody that was, that knew of Owen Hart was in this tournament. So it made sense for them to have Jeff Jarrett in this tournament. And as you can see the pictures with their manager when Deborah was the manager at the time, because I do remember that. But yeah, it's just it's full circle. It's very full circle. So and Jeff Jarrett can still go at his age. Like he can still wrestle. He looks good. It'll be a good match, whoever the wild card is. And we'll get on the wild card again a little bit later. So again, we had some men's matches that did happen. Well, so far it's been one. It was Claudio versus Pac. And surprisingly, Pac advanced in the next round. And the second match that's set for Forbidden Door, it will be Bryan Danielson versus Shingo. So out of those two will face Pac for the next bracket in the Owen Hart tournament. It definitely shocked me. It was a great match between Pac and Claudio, but Pac advances in this tournament. So, So, and then this week we have Ray Phoenix versus Jay White this Wednesday, and I know that match is going to be a banger. That match is going to be good. I'm glad that Jay White is in the Owen Hart tournament. Ray Phoenix, you can never go wrong. Ray Phoenix is always reliable, and he's going to give what needs to, be given. And Jeff Jarrett and the wild card, and we'll talk about the wild card. But again, all of these gentlemen that's picked for the men's Owen Hart tournament is the great pick as well. Like this, I would say this year, the Owen Hart tournament, the selections for this Owen Hart tournament is perfect. It's perfect. Like, it's nothing wrong with nobody that was picked this year. 2024 Owen Hart tournament is perfect because it's a layer to it, especially for the women's. It's more story involved with the women's because it's been a lot of non-title feuds going on, which I had talked about last week when I did the women's business episode. So you couldn't go wrong with this at all. Now, speaking of the wild cards, so let's get to it. It's up to you guys in the chat if you want to pick. Now, I'm just like, who would be the wild card? Who would? So I already posted it on Twitter, so I will do it on the show again for those that don't have Twitter. But out of the wild card, I said it could either be Adam Page, it could either be Ricky Starks, it could either be Adam Cole, it could be Sammy Guevara, or it could be Scorpio Sky. Those are the 5 that I feel like it could be a wild card. Adam Page, it makes the most sense because of the history between him and Swerve. If they will pick that story back up or if they want to continue that story. Or they could do something else with Adam Page because who's to say just because he's a wild card that he's winning, But that would be a great return for him. Ricky Starks. I picked Ricky Starks as well because, he's been the talk. We all been talking about him. We've been talking about why it's been a disconnect between the fans online and the fans, like, in the audience. It's definitely been a disconnect, but I went, seeing Ricky Starks, he won it last year. Just the return back to the Owen Hart tournament, probably with a different persona, probably with something different, probably with another ambition on his mind to aim for the AEW championship. A Ricky Starks and a Swerve rivalry for the championship, it don't sound bad on paper. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Y'all know how I feel about Ricky Starks. I don't hate the man. I just want more from him as far as his in-ring ability. Because it's one thing, you could be a good talker, but it has to match in the ring. And AEW is you either got to come with it 100% or you're going to get lost in the shuffle. And that's just only been my ruffle with him is his wrestling style. To me, it doesn't necessarily fit AEW, but it can fit AEW if he wanted to. And it's totally up to him if he wanted to. But Ricky Starks versus Swerve wouldn't sound too bad, actually. And it'll cause probably a controversy on Twitter because y'all know what happened last year. So, you know what I'm saying? In theory, Ricky and Swerve sounds good, but in practice, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like in theory, it sounds good, but Swerve's in-ring psychology and Ricky Stark's in-ring psychology is not the same. One is on direct. The other is more of like a build up because Swerve is an in-ring storyteller. Ricky Starks is not too much of an in-ring storyteller. Ricky Starks is much of a moveset wrestler, if that makes sense. I blame Tony. I feel like he kinds to give Ricky the end of the stick. No, he don't. If anybody has got a lot of advantage off the bat was Ricky Starks being because he was a Cody Rhodes boy. And they gave, like, when MJF had the championship, he was the first person to have a rivalry with MJF. He was paired up with Vince. You know what I'm saying? He had the match, he had the rivalry against Adam Page, and then it came out that he complained about Adam Page being too stiff. Like it's always stories too with him too. Like it's never like they not giving him stuff. They giving him stuff, but yeah, so like that's what I'm saying. Like he's had a lot of opportunities. Like he's main evented a lot of collisions. So I don't think it has nothing to do with Tony Khan giving him the end of the stick. I think it has more to do with. I mean, I've heard some rumors and stuff like that. I'm not trying to be biased or go by what's been told to me, but it's more of if he wanted to, if he wants to, it will happen. It's just you have to want to too. Like it's one thing to be like, I deserve this. And then when it's time to show that you deserve it, it always go left. And then on top of the thing with Edge, Adam, whatever, Edge, I know I don't like him. That whole thing, you know, he kind of rubbed Edge the wrong way and stuff like that. It's just, it's a lot. But I feel like if it was a legitimate rivalry between Ricky Starks and Swerve, it would be a good rivalry, actually. It will work. If they wanted to work, if they are willing to get in the booth and sing and dance and do the song and things like that, it will legitimate work, especially for All In. Now, if that is that a money maker for All In, it is totally up to them to build it to that. Just saying. Because in AEW, the graphic alone sells the tickets. That's what makes AEW, and that's what makes the other company, because the graphic alone, like if all they did was put up Will Ospreay versus Swerve, and the tickets started selling. Like it has to have that same impact. So if they was to put a graphic up right now, Swerve versus Ricky Starks, will people be like, "Oh, I gotta go get that"? You got to think about that too. So you have that. And then the other guest that I had was Adam Cole. Adam Cole makes a return back to the Owen Hart tournament at 100%, maybe. I don't know. It was just a guess. I just hypothetically, like, what if it's, the wild card is Adam Cole? Like, I don't know. Adam Cole versus, if Adam Cole's in there, it probably builds up his story, or it could, I don't know. I just said Adam Cole. And then next up, I had plot twist, Sammy Guevara. Plot twist. Sammy Guevara as the wild card. He's off of his suspension, they say. So maybe he comes back as a wild card. The timeline alone would be so hilarious. That would be funny though. That would be for reaction reasons if they put that on there. Oh, okay. Thank you, Jalen. I just hypothetically put Adam Cole. I just thank you for that update. I appreciate you. Yeah, I that's what I'm saying. Like it was a Reddit. I'm telling you, it was a Reddit. He named like everything. He was just like because people keep on saying that, and this dude on Reddit literally named every single thing that Ricky Stark's done in AEW. And it's just like, bro, nobody dropped the ball on him. It's just up to him if he wants to do it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so and then my last one, I put Scorpio Sky because Scorpio Sky has been cutting promos. We've been getting video packages of Scorpio Sky. He's making a return, so maybe he's the wild card. And I like Scorpio Sky. I like Scorpio Sky. Y'all be forcing the Scorpio Sky hate. I'm telling y'all that right now. Y'all be forcing it. Tony will end up with a brick through his window. Picture like if they said like okay, you know, however Jeff Jarrett is in the ring and then he's waiting on his opponent and it turns out to be Sammy Guevara music. Oh my god. Like just picture the reaction. People expecting cowboy shit and it's Sammy Guevara. Revitalize things. What you mean revitalize things? He is good, but I don't think nothing really need revitalizing. The only thing they kind of do is probably the tag team championship, like the tag team division. That's it. Watch it be MJF. Please don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. Don't make me mad. He can't because he in Forbidden Door. They better not do that. I didn't.
That doesn't work for me, brother.
It don't work for me. It don't work for me, brother. It don't. I didn't get to put him up here, but what if it's Darby Allin again? I love Darby. Darby is not human. Yeah, man, I'm saying it's gonna be MJF and Ospreay, but not for the championship. It's for the Atlantic Championship. Cause Swerve main eventing All In. That's kind of evident. He's main eventing All In. So MJF versus Ospreay at Wembley will piss me off, but I know that's where they lead into. We'll see how MJF do with the Alchemist. Absolutely not. No, no. That's a terrible idea. That's a thumbs down, Jermaine. Don't. That's the WWE type booking right there. That is thumbs down. Mm-mm. First of all, that I'm picturing that in my head right now. Darby Allin paired up with Scorpio Sky. That's like potato salad with raisins. Like, no, that doesn't work. Don't get me started with that because MJF versus, first of all, if Brian Danielson had a hard time against the Alchemist, what makes MJF think that he's going to deliver the greatest match against him? Like, the Alchemist gave Brian Danielson a hard time because people don't understand technical wrestling when it comes to lucha libre technical wrestling. Lucha libre technical wrestling is far different from any type of technical wrestling because lucha libre is poetry. Lucha libre is different. It's like physics. The way, if you like look back at the Alchemist versus Bryan Danielson, like it's physics. And the match, when I rewatched Dynamite and the match that he had against Roosh, he could barely handle Roosh. I don't know why. That match gonna piss me off. Pray for his back, because it's gonna be a lot of carrying going on. Listen, I'm telling that he is something different I have never seen before. He just be showing the world like we are more than just flips. We could do way more than that. They be like, your body actually can bend this way. You know your body can bend this way. That's how they wrestle. Like, your body ain't never been this way, but I'm gonna do it anyway for you. Hechicero, like, you saw the frustration in Bryan Danielson, because he's just like, bro, like, he was getting frustrated with himself. Like, I could do this. Why am I not getting this? And Hechicero like, no, you can't, my boy. You can't. Just because you wrestled New Japan don't mean that you can get lucha libre technical wrestling. It's different. It's totally different. That's why I wanted Baby Apache to show up to AEW, but seeing that AAA is going to work with NXT and she has the belt, one of the belts at AAA, Baby Apache going to lose to a Roxanne or somebody like that. But Baby Apache, she goes into business for herself a lot, so she might go backstage and push somebody, and something bad might happen if she loses against one of them girls. But that's why I wanted people to just see her, because she's also another great technical wrestler, technical vet. She's a vet. She is Penta and Ray Phoenix's mother, wrestling mother. That's what they call her. Because she is. She helped train them with their dad. You know, they're the Lucha Brothers. Their trainer was Baby Apache's dad, Papa Apache. So with her too. So yeah, those are my guesses. Either Adam Page, Ricky Starks, Adam Cole, Sammy Guevara, or Scorpio Sky. My guess, honestly, I feel like the wild card will be Adam Page. It makes a lot of sense for it to be Adam Page. But if it's not Adam Page, because I'm petty, I'm gonna go with Sammy Guevara because I just want to see people's reaction. I'm gonna go with Sammy Guevara for the reaction, but I'm gonna go with Adam Page because it makes sense for it to be Adam Page. But it's either these 5 people. It's either Adam Page, again, Ricky Starks, Adam Cole, Sammy Guevara, or Scorpio Sky. One of these people. So if it's not Adam Page and it end up being these other 4, I'm gonna be like, I told y'all so. It was either these people. It's either one. Okay, so for the women's Owen Hart's tournament, if you in the chat, who do you think is the underdog in the tournament? I know everybody has their favorite to be Mariah May, but if it's not Mariah May, who is the secondary? Like, who do you think will take the steal to face Toni Storm at All In August? I'm gonna go with if it's not Mariah May, they might take a chance with Willow Nightingale. to face Tony Storm for the AEW championship. That wouldn't be bad at all. Okay, we got Chris Statlander. That's a good choice too. Chris Statlander. That's another underdog choice. Sheeta. Oh, continue their rivalry. That's another good pick. They always do have great matches. That's the AEW women's rivalry to me. Is Tony Storm and Sheeta. Statlander is my second underdog pick. Nobody ain't rocking with Deanna. Y'all not Deanna Purrazzo fans in here? I kind of want to see Saraya win because I love chaos. No, Anna Jay is not in it. She's not in the tournament. No, Anna Jay is not in the tournament. Want to see Saraya win for chaos. All right, for the men's, who is the underdog? My underdog pick is, if the wild card is Adam Page, because because my pick for the men's on Hart tournament, I'm going with Jay White. That's my pick. Jay White is my pick. But if it's the wild card, they'll probably go with Adam Page. But I'm getting Jay White on this one. That's just me. I'm going with Jay White for my pick. But for the underdog, I'm going to go with the wild card. Yeah, he does deserve redemption after that stupid title match last year. And you see, he came back and still on that same BS. He came back and it was the lowest Dynamite this year. I said on Twitter, people saw Tyler, the creator, perform, and they turned off Dynamite and went straight to the June seat. Yeah, Jay White is my pick. I'm going with Jay White. But you know what? Either one of these people could win. Like Swerve versus Bryan Danielson sounds good. Swerve versus Jay White sounds good. Swerve versus whoever the wild card is good. If it's Adam Page or if it's Ricky Starks, they all sound good. Like it won't be bad. Like none of those picks won't be bad at all. You could do something with Bryan Danielson. You can do something with Jay White. You could do something with the wild card. Listen, as a person that talks about draws and viewerships on this show, MJF, most of his reign, he did not draw at all. Like he's loved, like with the actual fans that's there, but when it comes to watching on TV, he's not. People turn it all the time. His was probably one of the lowest as a champion, as an AEW champion. He was one of the lowest, but people loved him at the actual shows. But when he's one of those, the fans' reaction and attendance, it does not correlate to the viewership. He's one of those. So he could easily get away with being booked because he's going to get cheered at the show, but nobody don't want to look at that. Prior to another example, everybody, we feel how we feel about Jericho online and also the fans, but his demos is there. You know what I'm saying? He's there. Swerve Strickland is only a few percentage that don't like him, but it doesn't correlate with the attendance, fans, and his demos, and also his merch sales. He's meeting at the requirements that he needs to meet as a star. Same goes for Mercedes Moné. She is hated online, but it doesn't correlate to the attendance as well as the viewership. It doesn't correlate. So MJF is that wrestler. The attendance, it does not correlate with the viewership. It's never the same. It doesn't meet. Like they cheer him there, but TV aura is not there. And that was my argument with Ricky Starks. Like people defend Ricky Starks online, but it doesn't correlate when it comes to his demo, and it doesn't correlate with the attendance, and it doesn't correlate with the merch sales. It's not there. He's loved online, but the online has to match the attendance, and it also has to match the viewership. Or like I said all the time, bro, you only loved or you only hated online. And Ricky Starks is one of those that's only loved online. It has to match. And I be paying attention to that because I do content. And it makes sense why certain people are on TV. Exactly. Like nobody was like even when I saw that, even when MJF and Will Ospreay did that face off, people were still doing Who House chants. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you gonna ride for wrestlers, y'all have to pay attention to who's only online love and who is viewership love. Like, you got content creators, they don't even pay attention to none of that stuff at all. I pay attention to that stuff, and I started paying attention to that stuff ever since I started doing my show. Ever since I started doing and being a fan of AEW or doing these features with different podcasts, because that helps me understand why this person is always on TV, why he always rely on the same wrestlers. They are bringing the viewership. Warner Media already have a favorite with Jericho, so he's going to always be on TV. That's their, that's a house name. That's their relying on. Like, where's Jericho? He's going to always be booked. That's just, and I say it all the time, Tony Khan feels, he owes him something, because if it wasn't for Jericho, they wouldn't have got this TV deal, regardless that they moved way past that. But that's how bookers are. They are loyal to who they loyal to. And it's evident that Tony Khan is very, very loyal to Chris Jericho. Just like he's loyal to MJF, just like he's loyal to Sammy Guevara. He's loyal to certain people that, has had his back since day one. And he feels like, he's obligated to him. And he's not the only booker that was like that. Vince McMahon was like that. Undertaker was his man's. John Cena, his man's. Like, he had his certain, people, his favoritism too. Like, all bookers have their favoritism. You currently see it with Triple H too. Like, somebody said, why is what's the dude's name? I mean, of course, Rhea Ripley is his child. Bianca Belair is his child. Like, you could tell who is Triple H's child, like his children. He's gonna look after his kids, and he's gonna look after his favorites, like his people. It shows. Like, every booker has their favorite, and unfortunately, in AEW, his favorites are Jericho, Guevara, MJF. He has his favorites. And he has some that he respects. Like, oh, okay, I respect him. He's not my favorite, but I respect him. The Acclaimed. And of course, he's going to always book the Acclaimed because that was his idea. And that's one of those things that David said all the time. That's one of his, I told y'all this will work. But that was his idea, and he's going to always have something for him. Darby Allin is another one of his boys. That's his favorite too. Who else? Orange Cassidy. That's his. You could tell that's his favorite. That's his boy. He can rely on Orange Cassidy. Penta. I know he gonna break that bread for Penta. Penta ain't going nowhere. That's his favorite Mexican. So that he ain't going nowhere. Yeah. So he got his. Like, all of these bookers have their favorites. That's just how it is. That's just what it is, and that's what it's gonna be. Oh yeah, Sheeta is definitely. Yeah, Sheeta is definitely. This is day one. I would say Britt Baker, but their relationship has not been the same. But I'm sure that it's the level of respect there. Mercedes is this, that's his girl for sure. He turned red when Mercedes is in his presence. Like whatever you need, Mercedes, I am here. I work for you. It's like, I work for you. He has a favorite with Willow, Chris Statlander, Tony. Like all of these ladies, you could tell that he has some type of favorite with them. For sure. But that just comes with the territory. Like, it's no pureness in wrestling. This is a entertainment where, some things that should be normalized are normalized, and it is what it is. But yeah, I just with MJF, he just does not correlate with the fans on TV. Like, he comes on TV and they turn the channel. Some do it immediately. And yes, he gets the cheers at attendance, but you're not meeting the 18 and 49. So the disconnect is there. And he knows why the disconnect is there, but because he is Tony Khan's favorite, Tony Khan's going to vouch for him. He's going to always get certain spots. That's just what I don't know. Tony Khan feel like he's scared to lose him. I mean, you can lose him. It won't affect AEW. I mean, we was doing good without him, obviously. So, but that's just that. So he got to come with it. Forbidden Door against the Alchemist. Somebody's getting exposed, and it ain't the Alchemist, okay? Somebody's going to get exposed. You could get a tattoo of AEW and all that stuff all day, but I saw you botch like one move set against Roosh that you shouldn't botch on. If you can't handle Roosh, I don't think you can handle Hechicero. That's a different animal. Because Roosh also does Lucha Libre technical wrestling, but he's more aggressive. Roosh is aggressive. That's why that pair up with Don Callis makes sense. And I actually like that pair up. But actual Lucha Libre technical wrestling, you got to be careful if you bite more than you can chew. That's all I can say, especially when it comes to wrestling. Like, that is the one sport or entertainment. Is just like, if you're trying to bite more than you can chew, we could see it. And it's one of those things that we can see it. So we'll see how it goes. Somebody in my mentions before said it's going to be probably the best match on Forbidden Door. I doubt that. But okay. Keep hope alive, brother. Keep hope alive. Exactly. It did. That's what it did for me. That's exactly what it did for me. That was a test for, because Roosh has been in CMLL. He got kicked out of CMLL, So that was like a test to see if you're even ready for this guy, and you're nowhere near. Oh yeah, Orange Cassidy and Zack Sabre Jr. is about to eat. You can't go wrong with Orange Cassidy and Zack Sabre Jr. And Orange Cassidy is wrestling with a broken heart right now. So broken heart, Orange Cassidy is on a different attitude with his in-ring right now. So it's definitely going to go crazy. He's not built for Lucha Libre. It will make sense if he goes. Somebody said, what if the wild card is Wardlow? Please don't make me that. Wardlow. I didn't even think about that. Now I'm mad that what if that is the possibility? Wardlow. Just imagine Jeff Jarrett in the middle of the ring and then the music come out and it's Wardlow music. That would have been good too. Kyle O'Reilly versus Zack Sabre Jr. That would have been. I'm cutting the teeth. Warlow's crazy. Not so. Just think about it though. Like it's Warlow. Like brother, ew. What's that, brother? Warlow. It could be. You never know. I don't want to put that in the atmosphere. But where has Warlow been? It might be though. Warlow versus Swerve.
That doesn't work for me, brother.
I want it to be Kenny Omega. I wish it was. I wish it was Kenny Omega. Oh my god. Just picture the graphic, y'all. Warlow versus Swerve at All In. Like that graphic is crazy nasty. Warlow versus Swerve at All In. Like that graphic alone is crazy. Man, Kenny, I will be if Kenny never wrestles again. Now, as heartbreaking as that will be, I will accept it. He has nothing else to prove. He has really nothing else to prove. I wouldn't know what to do if it was Warlow versus Swerve. I wouldn't know what to do. I couldn't even defend that. I wouldn't be able to. Ricochet. I wouldn't watch new wrestling if that happened. He said, I'm, like I'm trying to like, what else? Who else has been absent from AEW that will be a wild card? Kip Sabian, maybe this is our time, y'all. The Kip Sabian stands. Kip Sabian versus Swerve at All In. That's money. I don't care what y'all say. Kip Sabian versus Swerve at All In. Sign me up. I will be seated for Kip Sabian and Swerve Strickland. Let Kip Sabian be a wild card. I'll be happy to. But yeah, so that is the Owen Hart tournament topic today. That is the episode for today. Again, remember tomorrow I will be on Twitch with my best friend Morgan, where we'll talk about The Boys season 4, episode 4, which was last week. That episode was crazy. It's a lot to talk about. Powerhouse Hobbs. Oh, that's a good one, but he's still out. He's still injured. But yeah, we'll be talking to Boys tomorrow. Episode 4 was out last week. That was a crazy episode. So it's a lot to talk about with that episode. We'll be on Twitch. Make sure you tune in to Public Enemies every Thursday. They be going over all the wrestling, all the hot topics on wrestling. From WWE, TNA, NXT, AEW. They talk about the whole 9. So make sure y'all tune into them every Thursday. Forbidden Door is this Sunday. You already know when AEW is the AEW pay-per-view week. It pops off really on Wednesdays. That's how we know the week is coming, the weekend, and AEW delivered. Now, the build-up to get to Forbidden Door has been a little shaky, I will admit that, but they always seem to deliver when it comes to the pay-per-views. So I'm already trusting that this pay-per-view is going to be good. I'm trusting that this Forbidden Door will be a great Forbidden Door. They're out there in New York. It's going to be a great environment. The crowd is going to go crazy. AEW fans are one of the best U.S. fans, in my opinion. They're always loud. We don't just sit there and all of this other stuff. They're always loud. Collision will be in Texas all month. I'm going to go to a couple of the collisions, not all of them, but a few that I can go to. They'll be up here into August. So it'll be Collision in Arlington. And I've already hooked up with some of the AEW girlies, meet up and stuff like that. So if you're going to Collision out here in Dallas, they'll be in Arlington the whole month of July and half of August. It's going to be so much fun. I love going to Saturday shows. I prefer Saturday shows. So it's going to be fun. I will post, like, I guess the dates that I will go to, that I will attend. We do deserve this because we deserve the pay-per-view. And I know that they are testing us out to see which pay-per-view will be out here. Because if this is successful, I know that they're going to run it back out here in Arlington. So we're going to do our big one because it's not football. That was the smartest thing AEW could have done because it's not football season. Because if it was football season and they tried to do that it would have been a no-go. It would have been a no-go. That would have been dumb on their part. But they chose to do it during the summer. It's smart. No football. There's no football season out here during that time. So it's going to work out pretty good. And as long as they book Collision really, really good for the Saturdays, it'll be just fine. Perfectly fine. So, so make sure you tune in for next Monday. It will be the Forbidden Door recap. I will go over what happened on Sunday. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and also on TikTok. Doing better promoting myself on TikTok. I'll be forgetting sometimes, but doing a little better promoting myself there. Of course, I'll be live tweeting Sunday Forbidden Door. It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be a good, fun weekend. So make sure you turn in. Make sure you look at the buy-in also on YouTube. They haven't announced the buy-in matches yet. I feel like Jericho will be on a buy-in. I hope he's on at least a buy-in and not the actual card this time. But you know how they go. Who knows? So yeah, everybody have a good night. Thank you, you guys, for tuning in, and hit my getaway music.
First of all, there's no such thing as white-collar crime. And there's definitely no such thing as black-on-black crime. Crime is crime. Let me explain something to you. I don't care if you have a white collar or a tank top. If you rob me, I'm going to whoop your ass.